Sawadee and welcome to Be My Guest, the program which brings you successful stories of entrepreneurs and organizations in both domestic and international arenas. I'm Sudosha Ratanapian. And that's the imbalance of demand and supply chain in Thailand's food industry has been one of the alarming concerns of food researchers and producers. An innovative model has been sprouted to address the problem through a sustainable creation of value chain on organic food products. So it has been implemented through the so-called Sampran model, where the target spotted are farmers in Sampran area in Nakhon Pathom province. So in this episode of the program, we'll learn more in detail about Sampran model. And currently I am with Khun Narut Nawara, the Managing Director of Sampran Riverside. Sawadee Kha.
Sawadee Kha.
So first of all, could you introduce yourself to our fans and be my guest?
Yes, well, I'm Managing Director of Sampran Riverside, which is family-owned property in Nakhon Pathom. So we have hotel, meeting rooms, restaurants. That's really our family business.
Okay, but the focus of our interview today will be about Sampran model. So could you tell us a bit on what Sampran model is?
Well, Sampran model is an initiative which we started 6 years ago because we wanted to supply our guests with organic food, vegetables, rice, fruits. So we started growing organic vegetables and fruits ourselves, which wasn't really that successful because we're not professional farmers. So we started contacting the local farmers in the Sampran district. There are a lot of farmers in our area. So we told them that we would buy directly from them, giving them the price that we used to pay our supplier. So which is much higher than the price they used to get from the middleman. So, but they would have to supply us with organic fruit, vegetables, or rice only, no chemicals whatsoever. So that was the start of when we connected with the local farmers. So that was the start of the Sampran model 6 years ago.
Okay,
Yeah.
Starting about the selection of organic products. So why organic products at first?
Why organic? Because I think, first of all, it's for the health purposes. Because you know that all the toxic chemicals, if it's left in your body, and then you could get cancer or a lot of illnesses. Secondly, tastes much better and keeps longer. So that was really the reason why we wanted to have organic raw materials for our hotel.
Okay. Yeah. In the first phase, of when you have a farming, in the hotel in order to grow the organic vegetables. So what were, the challenges at those times?
Well, the challenges is that it's very difficult because we're not professional farmers, and even though we never really use any much chemicals, but we can't really grow the variety because in a hotel you have to have a variety of many kinds of vegetables and fruits. So that's why we started to talk to the farmers surrounding us. But there are a lot of farmers in the Sampran district. But the challenge for the farmers in the first place, because they depended a lot on chemicals, and that was really their way of life. They didn't know any better. So they used chemical fertilizer, pesticides, herbicides, and they depended on the middlemen for marketing. So they never knew any consumers. So they only knew the middlemen and they knew the chemical shops.
I see.
So when we started to connect with them, we said, okay, we will provide different market channels. We would be one of the market channels, but then we will open the Sukjai weekend market for them to sell at the weekends as well. So that would be a channel where they can sell directly to consumers, getting really good prices. And now we have many market channels which we're testing out all the time. So we bring the farmers to Bangkok. We have the Sukjai Market Roadshow to the offices, so they can sell it to the office workers. But more importantly, that they learn from the behavior of the consumers, which they never knew before.
I see.
And lastly, we're going to have a website, which is very exciting now, that we're going to have a website platform that they can upload their own production, their own prices.
Okay.
So it'd be something very transparent way of connecting between farmers and consumers. So we're doing a lot of sort of market channel initiations. That's that's the start of the project.
I
really.
see. Okay. So in the very first phase, when farmers starting to learn and grow organic products, so where do you get know-how, about organic, or they already knew about organic farming already?
No, I think the know-how comes from practice.
I see.
No, I think most of them, they've been depending on chemicals all their life, so they never made their own organic fertilizer. They didn't really know how to use the surrounding raw materials, which is sufficient. So they were used to buying everything, buying chemicals. So really, it's really to change their mindset that they have to stop. Okay, the biggest hurdle is getting them to stop and getting them to feel that this is the path, the way of life that they can choose. So just having market channels with higher prices is not enough. They have to have the confidence to make this switch.
I see.
So which comes to the part that we group them together in groups so that the newcomers would actually look at the successful farmers who've switched already.
Okay.
So there would be a knowledge transfer between their peers. It's not. We do work with universities, and government bodies, but really the knowledge actually come from their peers and from themselves, from actually practicing. Yeah.
Okay. So how many numbers of farmers or agriculturists right now, that they are joining this model?
For the last 6 years now, we have 10 groups of farmers. 8 of them in Nakhon Pathom province and 2 in the surrounding province, one in Ratchaburi and one in Pala'u, which is in Pajor. Okay, we're going to have a new group, the 11th group in Kanchanaburi. And with 11 groups, there are only about 150 farmers, 150 families.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not a big initiative because it's not really possible to do something really big because we're talking about changing of livelihood here. It's to get them to switch. It's not an overnight process. Some can switch within 6 months. Some take 3 years before they become confident. So we're learning all the time, their behavior and what are the factors to make them confident to make the switch.
I see. Okay, so this is very interesting. So do you have any strategies, or initiatives in order to how to change, these perceptions or their perceptions or mindsets?
There's no fixed strategy because, for example, if you ask yourself, how would you kick your old habit of, maybe you have addicted to coffee or sleeping pills. There's no fixed formula for each individual. But what our strategy is that is that we have different market channels to suit them, whether bulk, to the hotel or retail at the Sukjai market. Now we have a website, so they can choose different market channels. But we work in groups, so the way we do it is we have group system where we meet every month. So I think the key is consistency. So we meet all the time. We address all the problems. We take them on trips to see successful farmers, but they learn mostly from their peers and, like I said, from their own practice. So once they stop using chemicals, then they become the master of their farm, and then they will start learning how to make organic fertilizer. Okay, and then the next they would know how to chase away this insect using herbal sprays or something. So they would actually learn because every farmer have different piece of land, different crops. So actually they become the master of their own farm. So the learning process is gradual, but it's always an upward learning process.
I see.
So that's why we work with them on a participatory guarantee system, which we use that as a tool to drive the groups. So like I said, market channels, the group movement, knowledge transfer from universities, field trips. So really everything that we can provide them in order for them to be confident to make the switch.
Okay.
And once they made the switch, most of them would be successful because they hardly ever go back.
Okay. So from a 6 years project here that has been undergoing since then from now. So or the feedback, or even impression, your impression actually. How do you feel about this model?
The feedback from farmers?
Yeah, from farmers
from everyone. I think the feedback. I mean, for us, it's great because for me, I get to eat organic rice, fruits and vegetables, and I know exactly who grow what on my plate, which is a luxury. I feel, money. If you're walking around in Bangkok, even have a lot of money, you can't do that. From the farmer's point of view, health is better. Okay, the debt problem is lessened because they're getting much higher prices for their produce. The production cost is much lower by about 50 to 70%.
I see.
Because they don't have to buy; they're always making them themselves. So they become independent. And now, if they do processing, like for example, if you have organic guavas, before selling to the middlemen, you can only sell the top grades. Okay, the ones with blemishes, they don't actually get hardly any money for that. But now, if you make organic guava juice, any grade is fine. So they can actually sell 100% of whatever they produce.
I see.
So for them, economically, it's much better. Their debt burden is much less now.
Okay.
The environment is better because there's no chemicals, soils or in the water around them. Yeah? And socially, it's better because now they get to know the consumers who appreciate what they produce.
I see.
The consumers who are responsible and actually, so all in all, you get a much happier farmer. I mean, I'm a much happier person getting that produce. So we become like partners. We're not really supporting them because we're getting funding from the Thai Health Promotion Foundation and Thailand Research Fund. But that funding, it's important, but it's not crucial. So if we didn't get any funding today,
I see.
They're still selling and buying. It's based on a fair business model.
I see.
So it's a real business model which actually drives it. So it's sustainable.
Okay. So we want to create a sustainable development in terms of, and this is not an NGO, but it's a business
definitely.
type.
Yeah.
Okay, in which all stakeholders can benefit from the model.
Yeah.
Okay, but for now it's time for a short break. Right back, learn more on the Sampran model contribution to Thai society. Okay, and all the in more details about this model. So please stay tuned and be my guest.